What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another edition of the BTS Show. I'm your host, Chris J. Thank you guys for tuning in to the seventh edition of Getting It Off Your Chest. Now, I want to say thank you to Jada for pulling up to my live stream, which was I don't know how many hours ago, to just clear the air on something just to provide more context and details. Because when it comes to talking points, does it make sense? Does it add values? Will it help achieve your ultimate goal? We was able to nuke talking point that I don't ever want to hear again. So Jada, you know I love you. You're more than welcome here anytime at the BTSI show. Well, let's continue. Actually, let's get started. I gotta reorganize these whatchamacallits, these banners. Jesus Christ. Do me a favor. Like this video, subscribe to my YouTube. Follow me on all socials. Links are located in the description. $sign the BTSI show is a cash app. Participant waive all rights and privacy. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and once we reach that goal, one lucky person will get $100 in a Cash App giveaway. First and second runner will receive some Cash App prizes as well. Now, in this edition of actually, before I forget, ladies and gentlemen, did not want to do that. I want to remind you guys that There Is Liberty, my short film, will be premiering on Thursday, May 9th at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with the trailer to be released on April 27th. A little bit, almost 2 weeks out before the premiere. You guys already watched the teaser prior to the show starting. I can't wait to play the trailer. The trailer to premiere. Just heads up, I won't be able to play that trailer on the show. Well, actually, maybe I can. We'll talk about that later. But when you see it, you'll probably have an idea why I left it as a trailer. So remember, There's Liberty, a BTSI short film, will premiere May 9th. And we will have a follow-up stream later on that evening to talk about the short film as well. So please hit the notification bell. Make sure you guys are here to watch what I call a masterpiece. Now, get it off your chest. Let's talk about this real quick. Salute to, well, I'm sorry, I'm at work and people like to distract me. That's what I get for working on the north side of Houston. So let's continue. Now, I was going through streams this morning, and I heard something on Sharon's stream. Salute to Sharon. And oh yeah, and side note, I take no offense to what Sharon said yesterday on Aaron O's show. That didn't bother me a lick. So no need to, if anybody wants to harp on him, that's not necessary. Let it go. It's all good. I was on his panel today. They was talking. Well, when I was watching his panel today, they was talking about pretty much talking to their daughters. I guess when it comes to sex, there was someone on the panel that believes that a father should not talk to their daughters when it comes to that, when it comes to sex, or they shouldn't just talk to their daughters at all. Like that's the mother's job. Ready for this controversial take I'm about to say? If a father, obviously this could be vice versa, but let me keep it in this realm. If a father cannot raise his daughter as he sees fit, that child should have been aborted, flushed, or swallowed. Let me say that again. If that father cannot raise his child, in this case his daughter, in the way he sees fit, that child should have been aborted, flushed down the toilet, or swallowed. Obviously, that means that child was, for the slow people in the back, for a child to be aborted, that means he or she was not born. For that child to be flushed down the toilet, excuse me, that means it was still uh, a sperm, a semen. And swallowed, that's self-explanatory. I will hope that's self-explanatory. The reason why I say that, for the simple fact that just because you have you are a girl, that doesn't mean you get to dictate how someone talks to you or raise you. And obviously I'm talking about the parents. In this case, a father. Because that gives credence to the idea of these men say, "Oh no, I don't have daughters. I don't birth daughters." Or we find out if it's going to be a girl, we abort it. So to those women, are you pro-abortion? Of course you're not. I don't understand this ideology of where fathers are only supposed to supposed to raise the sons. No, that's goofy. A gentleman on the panel brought up a good example of, let's say, when it comes to this space, it's all about the man wanting to get or sleep with the women any way possible. Obviously, that's not true, but let's just run with that narrative. If a man, a well-educated man, a well-cultured man, if he knows the games or the rules, the guidelines of what men got to do to get in women's pants, why would he not instill that same education to his daughter so that way when she's out on her own, she can now make her own decisions with value placed on it. This is, if a man approaches you and says this to you, this is why. Now, one other that's before I get to that part, that's just common sense. Because what's the point of me having all this knowledge and I'm keeping it to myself? I'm not passing it on to those who need it. And keep it to where I said those who need it. Not want it, they need it. Follow me on this. The next part is another individual said, why would if you feel that strong about it, why don't you tell your wife this information? And I'm like, huh? Because the wife, I'm thinking to myself, because the wife is with the husband. The wife ain't got to worry about that. It's the daughter that you got to worry about. She, and her take was, why don't you instill that game to your wife so she can put it to her daughter, so that way you're out of the conversation and you're not in the room when they're talking about that. You got to be careful with individuals like that. I'm not talking about that person directly because this is just the internet at the end of the day, and for the most part, these are all characters. You gotta be careful of those who want to take the father out of the picture when it comes to their children, especially their daughters, because daughters will remember who was not there to protect them. You always got to be wary of that. Now, it's always best. Now, actually, before I even get to that part, there are going to be some times where the mother needs to talk to the daughter um, by themselves when it comes to certain things, especially when it comes to the women know what's understood doesn't need to explain. And there's other conversations pertaining to sex and people being taken advantage of, where that conversation is going to require two parents together having that conversation with their children, especially the girls, because the girls, excuse me, because let's say if a girl was to partake in that activity and she does get pregnant, compared to the boy who partakes that activity and get a girl pregnant. In comparison, when it comes to the boy, the household doesn't really does that much changing at all. Outside, he just got to work. He's gonna if he doesn't already. Hey, obviously we're talking about kids, so you're talking about a little kid who's just going to school, whatever, and now he's gonna have to get a job and learn some responsibilities. Whereas a girl, if a girl gets pregnant, that everything in that household has to change because you're carrying the baby. Everything has to be catered to you, so there can be a healthy pregnancy. Everything in the household has to change. So it's always, and I'm saying all that because it's best to have this conversation with both parents there versus one one that you just over there on the couch drinking beers. You got to be careful with individuals who want to separate the father from the children. Matter of fact, I will say I'm not going to say literally do this. Figuratively speaking, you need to strike that person out of the picture, and also instilling your children. Anybody that try to keep your parents out of the circle, especially your father, you may or may not want to trust them. Sorry, during the message. Give your children what they need more so than what they want. I'm not going to say don't give your children what they want because there are not at times there are times where they deserve to get what they want. But prioritize the necessities, the essentials over your emotions, over the now. You got to make sure that your child is well equipped. Now the question is, how do you raise your children when it comes to this situation? There's now me if you're traditional. Excuse me. Let me take that. Let me start that again because my friend is gonna uh, talk me to death, or she's gonna get on my ass if I don't choose my words carefully on this one. Previously, it's real simple with when it comes to raising kids, especially when it comes to this sex topic. Do what I say. The end. If you don't, well, usually it stops right there. But if you don't, you go straight to the consequences to strike fear in your children. That was back in the day, and I will make the argument that it's still now. I would say when it comes to that conversation, ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to scare your children to the point where you're looking at the results now, but you're not worried about the after effect, the aftermath later. Now some parents are going to say, as long as they're not having sex now, that's all that matters. Okay, I hear and I understand, but long term, they're going to be adults. They're going to go one. They want to start their own family, and you don't know the seed that you accidentally planted in your child's head. So I will say this: when it comes to these conversations, especially when the man is talking to the daughter or the wife is talking to the son, or really everybody's talking to everybody together. You need to tell them one about sex and two about the obviously the outcomes. One second. One, sorry about that. When it comes to this conversation about sex, you need to tell your children what it is for. Tell your child what is sex for, and also tell them, especially if you guys already have your value system and your principles and your ideologies laid out, tell them, give them the options on what will happen if you do it this way. Excuse me, how it's supposed to be done, and the proper setting is supposed to be done. So that way, they now have a value system. When they do have sex, I'm having sex with this person under these circumstances, so we can. Well, like I said, I don't want to go to the consequences. You're having sex with this person under these circumstances, and this is a value that will go with your kids everywhere you go, versus going straight to the consequences. So let me say that again, just in case anybody missed it. When it comes to this conversation about sex, tell your children together, by the way, what is sex, what it's meant for, and based off of your principle, ideologies, and values, how you properly are supposed to do it. Because let's say if they do go out there and they do their own things, they're already equipped with what you told them, and they can so now they can make their own decisions. So they can make a decision that is probably not aligned with such values that's placed in the house. Now we can have another conversation like, what did you know? You know what you know, and you did what you did. What happened? The who, what, when, where, how, and why. So now, when you have that second conversation, if they elect to do make those choices, now you can tell them. Now you could definitely double down on the values behind the initial conversation, so now they can start to get it. So keep in mind, I never encourage anybody to go have sex, especially under sex underage, because if you know some of the laws, there's enough legal loopholes to where you at the excuse me, yeah, the child and you as an adult can be legally held liable. So be careful with that. What I'm saying is, make sure all your children have the knowledge before they do anything, and make sure there's a value behind it so they can always know to go to it. Because if you go straight to the consequences, ladies and gentlemen, there's there's not the consequences for the action is always not going to be present. It will it come? Yeah, sure. But will it come immediately and swiftly? Not all the time. And if they don't see the consequences, they're going to keep doing it. They're going to keep doing it without the value system attached to it. So please be careful with that. And in closing, um, ladies, stop shutting the men out of their children's lives, especially the daughters, because you can teach them or raise them so far. It's up to that other parent that you slept with and had a baby with. They need to pick up the slack and carry the load all the way home. Study you like it's in the building. What's good, my guy? How you feeling? So please stop shutting men out of their daughters' lives. I understand that some of y'all had a different upbringing, but the commonality is real simple. Shutting a man out breeds different outcomes. And what's normal to you may just not may not be the norm at all. And I'm talking about the outcomes with that. But we can talk about that some other time. I'm gonna head out of here. I kind of miss doing these random streams during the day like this. I may do this. Like I said, this might just be a continuous habit or continuous random habit. But like I said, we will do a show tomorrow or Friday. I just need to work out some details before I press record. So I'm gonna get out of here. I just had to get that off my chest. On your way out, like this video, subscribe to my YouTube, follow me on all socials. Links are located in the description. $1 the BTS shows the Cash App. Participate with all rights to privacy. Run the road to 1,000 subscribers. Once we reach that goal, one lucky person will get $100 during the Cash App giveaway. First and second runner-up will receive Cash App prizes as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. Where is that guy? I really need to. As soon as I end this live, I'm reorganizing these banners. This is ridiculous. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. This is the BTS Show. I'm your host, Mr. J. Catch you guys later. Peace.
It's a mess, but hey,